All right, welcome. We're here today to discuss how to connect a wireless camera up to a wireless network. This is a common requirement oftentimes in IP surveillance. The reason is because sometimes people do not have the ability to get a cable, network cable, or a pathway to it where they would like to position a camera. This comes up in both interior and exterior situations. What I have here before us is two products. One is the ENGENIUS wireless access point product. This particular product is their N300 product, or their ENS020EXT product. It's their exterior wireless access point product. This particular product is pretty powerful. It's a 2.4 gigahertz long-range wireless access point. We'll talk about some of the settings that we have available to that product here in a second. In addition to that, I have over here a TrendNet camera. This is the TV IP672WI wireless camera. As you can see on the back here, the camera is wireless. It's also has a wired port. In this particular camera, I'm providing AC power to the camera, but I am not providing network connectivity to the camera other than through the wireless transceiver on the back of the camera. This particular camera is a pan-tilt zoom camera. It also provides IR infrared for nighttime viewing as well. In order to connect these cameras, we basically have to configure the ENGENIUS product to be in a wireless access point mode, broadcasting an SSID out on a particular spectrum, and then the camera here has to be configured to access the wireless network being presented by the ENGENIUS product. This is a rather simple configuration. The difficulty comes in making sure that the two devices are able to communicate with the same wireless network technology. Let's go ahead and take a look at the interfaces of both these products just so you can see how it's set up. Our first product we're looking at is the ENGENIUS product. As you can see here, this is the web interface for it. If you click on the main option over on the left-hand side, you'll see that you can get an overall general description of everything that's going on in this product. You can see the wireless SSID. You can see that if you scroll down, you'll see that the wireless network is enabled. You can see the IP address to connect to it and that sort of thing. On the bottom left-hand side, you'll click on Operation Mode. Under System, you'll click on Operation Mode, and you will see that this is currently configured in Operation Mode as Access Point. This can also be configured as a client bridge. However, in this particular product, you most oftentimes will configure it as an access point. Now you'll go to Wireless Network Settings. Here's where you can set up what wireless mode you want to be in. Up in the top, you'll click that drop-down box. You'll see you can choose several different wireless modes. Because this access point is in the 2.4 gigahertz range, it only supports the 802.11 B and G and also the N standards. In this case, it comes default to automatically select all three, giving it the ability for maximum compatibility. However, in a lot of situations, you may want to configure it appropriate for whatever camera device you're trying to connect to it. Click out of that drop down, just leave it the way it is. And down below, you can see where you can enable the SSIDs. Now you can edit, make your own SSID name, or you can broadcast them. In this case, I'm not implementing wireless security, just to show you how it works. However, you can configure wireless security on these devices. You can notice in this case, I've enabled ENGENIUS 1, the first SSID, I've enabled that. If you click the edit button over to the right, all right, so here's where in the edit button you can see where you can configure the security mode down below. Click the drop down box. And here's where you can select one of many different security algorithms or mechanisms for sharing a key between this and your wireless device, whether it be a camera or a client. The most common, by the way, is WPA2 PSK. We're not going to click that, but that is the most common. That's uses a pre-shared key on both sides to communicate. we'll talk, at another point I've talked about different security standards. Let's go ahead and leave this with no security just to show you that it works. Click the cancel option. Or you can also just close out of the window. Okay, so there you go. So that's how you configure the wireless settings on the particular device. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the TrendNet interface for this camera. As you can see right now, we are successfully communicating to this camera on its IP address, and this is occurring through the wireless network. As you can see here, I'll move my hand in front of the camera. We are actually successfully communicating to it. Just to also show you, you do have pan, tilt, zoom controls. Go ahead and pan the camera a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, or up or down. And you can see we have control over the pan, tilt, zoom features of the camera. Click on the setup option for the camera. And you'll go to the network section, and you'll notice that we have an opportunity here to provide the IP address of the camera, which we've done. And then if you click on the wireless section, notice you can specify the network name, in this case ENGENIUS1. If you want to auto select from an SSID that's being broadcast, by the way, you do not have to broadcast an SSID. But click the drop down box, and all of the SSIDs that have been scanned are available. If you don't see the SSID that you're broadcasting, you can rescan it. By the way, you do not need to select it from this list. You can have a non-broadcasted SSID that you can simply just type in here. Go ahead and click out of that, and you can choose your wireless mode, which will always be infrastructure in this situation. You would not want an ad hoc scenario in this type of situation. Click the drop down for security mode. And what you'll see is this one only supports, the camera itself only supports WEP and WPA and WPA2. It does not support some of the other security modes. So making sure that these are compatible are important. Like I said, WPA2 PSK is the most common. So if we were to set these up to be secure, we would do WPA2 PSK on both sides and then use the same shared key. That's it. That's pretty much how you configure configure these two devices to communicate. So there you go. This is how you connect a wireless camera using a wireless transceiver to an outdoor wireless access point. Thank you very much.